Hello and welcome to Royal Makeup Artistry. I am Victoria Weems, your makeup artist. In this video, I will demonstrate how I created my look. I hope you enjoy. I started off with my Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer. I apply it to my face and I rub it into my skin, nice and good. Then I use my Mario Basiku skincare. It has herbs and rosemary and lime and all that good stuff, and rub it in. Then I use my LA Gear Pro concealer in the shade orange. I apply it to all my dark areas, lids, under eye, around my mouth, and a couple of spots on my face. I then begin to blend those areas using my finger. You can use a brush or a sponge, a blending sponge, but I prefer to use my finger. I feel I get better blending doing that. I use my finishing powder, which is CoverGirl in color Tawny. And then I use a powder brush and I just kind of pat my face entirely with that. I'm using a MAC defining pencil in the color Stud, and I begin to outline and draw in my brows. So I outline from the bottom, and then I do the top. I use slight feathery strokes to get to the shade that I want. The darker the shade, the more strokes. I use my smudge brush or my smudge sponge, and I just kind of like smudge it in, make sure it all is even, both left and right eyes. And then I use my mascara, Maybelline Clear Mascara, to brush up the eyebrow hairs to make them stand and stay in place. Give them a nice crisp look. This is the NYX concealer wand in the color CW08. And I'm going to use that on my brow, my underneath brow, to outline and make it nice and crisp. And then with the excess concealer, I just pat that whole brow in and try to make it even. I've done both my left eye as well. And then I use my HD concealer, which is the same skin tone, the same color as my skin tone, and I outline my upper brow. And I'm using a small concealer brush to do both the upper brow and lower brow. And then I also pat any excess concealer into my skin. Now I'm going to set that with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm going to use a little bit of product with a powder brush and just brush that onto the concealer and just set it. Now I have my P. Louise base, and I'm going to put that on my eyelid using a concealer brush. I'm patting it in as well. Patting it gives you a better blending technique when you're using concealers and bases. I'm using my NYX Swear By It palette in the color yellow as my transition color. And again, I'm using a powder brush just to pat that color yellow onto my eyelid and upper brow. Now I'm using my NYX Off Tropic palette, and I'm going over my yellow with a light brown color. I'm patting and I'm also blending at the same time. I have what we call a some kind of a glitter, not glitter, but it's the product is Magic, and it's a gold color, shimmery gold color, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that and patting it on my lid on both left and right eyes. And I'm going to do a little smoky with the same NYX Tropical in a brown, and I'm just going to pat that in on the outer edges of my eyelids to give it a slight smoky effect. My famous MAC Fix-It Crimp and Primer spray is a setting spray. I love it. I've been using it forever. I'm going to highlight by using LA Girl concealer, and I believe that is Warm Honey. And again, I'm using my finger to pat underneath my eye, and I'm going up like in a cat eye direction. Now that I've blended that in, I'm going to use my Juvia's Place foundation. I'm using Largo or Lego and Kenya. And I'm also using a Tarte Honey Warm Sand as well to highlight this on me. I've blended everything in, and so now I'm setting everything again under my eye, highlighting it with a Sasha Buttercup setting powder to set that highlighting area. I'm highlighting the center of my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. That's my highlighted area. And I'm using the brown in my Juvia Warrior palette to contour my face underneath the cheek. Kind of like a C, going around the edges of my temple and down the sides under my cheek. Now having my 3D Fall Mink Lashes number 010. I've put those on off camera. Now for my highlight and my blush. I'm highlighting my upper cheek area right by my upper cheek and temple, my forehead, and down the bridge of my nose. My chin and my upper lip. Now I'm going to contour my nose with the same Warrior Brown palette, blush palette. And I'm going to just highlight my nose. Contour my nose. Top it off with some red lipstick. I believe that's Urban Decay. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry about that. I'm taking a darker color Maybelline Crown lipstick, and I'm going around the edges of my lip, just around the edges. And I'm topping it off with a red gloss to give it a little shine, make the lips pop. And here we go. This is my final product, my final finish look. Hope you liked it. And again, practice makes perfect. Thank you all for watching. And please, I hope you like this tutorial, and I'm going to keep practicing. And thank you for watching.